Welcome everybody, this is my first video blog. I'm actually writing a book at the moment, and this series of videos is to accompany that book. The reason why I'm doing these videos is to try and get my opinion, my thoughts and my feelings organised, so that when I write my book it will sort of be more structured. But also, if the book doesn't get published, I want to ensure that some of what I say and some of my opinions do actually get out there to people who might want to listen to them. You might think that why should I listen to your opinions anyway? And that is a fair comment. But I think that if I don't get my opinions out there, then they're never going to be heard by anybody. And I do think I have some good ideas. I have done a lot of research and a lot of reading and a lot of deep thinking about the issues that I'm going to cover over the coming weeks. And if anyone wishes to, or if anyone agrees with what I say and wishes to follow me, that's great. If anyone objects to what I say, then that's okay as well. Please leave a comment either way, and I will try and address those comments in due course throughout the videos. Please refrain from just yelling or whatever. If you disagree, that's fine, but I would prefer constructive criticism, so that we can have a discussion. I don't see any reason why we can't just talk about these issues like adults. I am a concerned citizen of the world, which is why I'm writing a book, which is why I'm doing these videos, which is why I have been thinking about these things for a long time. I see things around me that are just not right. They're not just, they're not good things, and I feel that I need to do something about them, but at the same time I feel impotent to do anything about them, because the political process doesn't work as far as I'm concerned. It's not worked for a long time. The political process in the West is largely defunct. It is largely irrelevant, although it does have its place. It also doesn't represent the people, in my opinion. If you write to your local MP, you get a very nice letter back saying the MP has been made aware of your comments, and they will sort of raise it at the appropriate time. Your vote is largely irrelevant. It doesn't matter who you vote for, it seems. There doesn't seem to be any real change happening. There doesn't seem to be anything constructive happening. So if you pick between 3 or 4 different candidates, they're all backed by the same people. So there's no point voting. And that's how a lot of people feel. That's why there's so much apathy around for voting. However, I do think that, the vote was hard won, and it's difficult to say what I've just said, because I believe in democracy. But the way democracy is run, democracy at the moment is underpinned by capitalism. And capitalism is one of the greatest evils that humanity has ever faced. And that may seem like a very over-the-top comment, but in my opinion it doesn't matter what political spectrum you come from, whether you are right-wing or left-wing, whether you're fascist or communist or whatever. What underpins a lot of it is still capitalism. Even the communist systems today in China is still capitalist. It's still communist with a capitalist C. And capitalism breeds inequality. Capitalism breeds consumerism. It has brought us more affluence than we've ever known in the West, but it's also widened the gap between rich and poor to such a point where literally 1 or 2% of the population control 80% of the wealth of the world. And that's not sustainable. Our way of living, although sometimes a struggle from our point of view, was bought with the blood and the tears and the death of people in other countries that weren't so lucky. And that's not sustainable from a moral point of view, and from a humanistic point of view. You know, we are all the same. We're all equal. And so long as we're treated unequally, as long as any person is treated unequally, then we're all treated unequally. Because equality is one of the absolutes. It either is or it isn't. You either are equal or you're not. For me, the concept of increasing equality is simply not good enough, because that's not equality. You can't increase equality. You either are or you're not, in my opinion. The monetary system, again, many hundred years old, but not the definitive system that humans have always operated under. So when people suggest that it is the system that we've got and that's the best we can do, well, it isn't. We are the only people that can make a difference within our society, because we built that society. If we can't make a difference in our society, then nobody can. So we have a responsibility, therefore, to effect change within that society. We have a responsibility to vulnerable people in our society. We have a responsibility to people who feel different in our society. Because humans, yes, have not changed in millennia, physiologically. Our needs have not changed. Our wants have not changed. Human avarice is the same. Human horror is the same. But I believe that our society is changing. And if we go with it, then we'll be better for it. If we allow the powers to be to resist it, then when the system comes to an end, which it will, then they'll just replace it with another system exactly the same. If we push for a change, then perhaps when this system does fail, then we'll have the opportunity to establish a new system, a better system, a system which uses the Earth's resources sustainably and responsibly, with all the current technology that we have available, with all the current knowledge that we have available, not just that knowledge which is economically viable or that has some worth to someone somewhere sat in an office, but has worth to humanity, actually contributes to humanity. A system where people are not just made famous because of their stupidity, made famous because of their complete lack of contribution to human society. You know, the pop stars and the rock stars will be people who do make a contribution and who feel a responsibility to make a contribution, because those are the people who should be famous, in my opinion. The monetary system, as it is today, is failing. You know, the debt ceiling is getting higher all the time. And like Barack Obama said recently, you can't keep kicking the debt can down the road. Eventually you're going to have to stop and pick it up. And he's quite right. But I think that so long as it's not personally relevant to people, people can't care because it's too daunting a concept to care about. Until it actually hits them, they can't afford to be bothered about it, and that's what we need to change. We need to make sure that people are aware of what's happening and want to make a change, and actually make a change in their own lives. Not one person can make the difference that is needed. Everybody needs to make a little change. Everybody needs to make the difference. Otherwise it won't work. The more that our society, the more the powers that be, the more the media move to separate us and keep us apart from each other, keep us at each other's throats, keep us focusing on our differences, then they can carry on doing whatever they want. They can carry on holding the power that we give them. But if on one glorious day we remember that we're all the same, and power, then they will run for cover, because then we will make a change. But it starts with us. We have to remember that we are equal, we are one. We were all born the same. Doesn't matter what culture you come from, doesn't matter what society you come from, and yes, that will have influences on you. But first and foremost, you should always remember that you are human. And the person sat next to you on the bus is human. And the person on the TV screen that is under a lot of pain and under oppression is human. And yes, the people who are oppressing that person, they are also human. But it's all about motivation. If we motivate ourselves for the betterment of mankind, then that's a much nobler motivation, in my opinion, than monetary gain, or the acquisition of power, or land, or resources, which seems to be the only motivation that anybody cares about. And I know that's not true, because there are a lot of people out there who are like me, and that's who I'm reaching out to today. And if you are one of those people, then please comment, and please follow what I'm saying. Like I say, I will be making more videos each week, so remember to look out for them, comment, and if you want me to do a video on something that I've not mentioned, then please let me know. Thank you, goodbye.